Uncommon Places is the keynote project of the 2015 Melbourne Fringe Festival. We've asked 24 artists to create 18 free, site-specific works across the City of Melbourne and the City of Stonington. First up in the CBD, we have Clara Bradley at Arbor Bar and Eatery. Clara has created a series of printed banners of hand-sewn digital dialogues collected from her friends, family, and networks. Looking at the private communication that we send each other via digital platforms, Clara asks you to consider what you hope to have heard at this location. We then have Maddie Young at Prince's Walk at Birrarungma. Maddie interviewed over 70 women about their experiences of that space, and from that has created a website-driven walking experience. This is a choose-your-own-adventure type walk, where the answers that you give to questions direct you around the space, as well as ask you to participate in certain actions. Lastly, in the CBD, we have this side of the tracks at the Nicholas Building. Artists Karenza Dibble and Yue and Rodriguez have interviewed the tenants of the Nicholas Building about the lift attendants who used to work there. What's being created is an audio experience looking at memory, perception, as well as a celebration of what is left in a building after someone has left.
So there's 4 projects in the North Melbourne area, and I reckon you could see all of those in not much more than 90 minutes, 2 hours. The first project is Vincent Giles at the Auction Rooms Cafe. He has got the actual coffee that Auction Rooms serve, taken it to the chemistry lab at Melbourne University, and taken the data that's been generated from that and made a musical score out of it. You put in your headphones and you listen to the coffee as you taste it. Also on Errol Street, we have Frank Dyker, who's made a sculpture that's in the window of the Salvo store, the op shop. He has basically got broken down parts from a computer and made a sculpture out of it. I think it's interesting because it chimes really nicely with that idea of reuse, recycle, trash and treasure that you get at an op shop. At the Queen Victoria Markets, you'll find Market Sports, where an artwork by Shane McGrath has been installed. It's a video work that is a series of people running through footy banners, except instead of Go the Tigers, it's got quotes from philosophers, art critics, and instead of footy players, we've got people from the general public who've run through them. At the Yarra Tram stop out the front of the Queen Victoria Markets on Elizabeth Street, you'll see Georgina Simons and Li Shang Lun's work. It's essentially a visual installation at the tram stop, which also has a map in it. And if you follow that map, you'll be following different people's stories, and you'll read different parts of their journey along the way as you also trace that route. We've got 3 works in the Docklands around the Victoria Harbour area. The first is Sharon Flanagan, that's at the Library by the Dock. What Sharon's done is taken a lot of photos of the building, the architecture, and she's made a video interpretation of that. What is interesting is that Sharon's a visual artist who's actually losing her vision, and this really changes the work that she's made. At the Yarra Tram stop terminus for the 11 and 48 trams in Docklands, you will find a poster that's for an audio walk called Promenade. Essentially, when you're at the tram stop, you find the poster, plug in your headphones, hit play, and you'll be taken on a journey through Docklands. The work is made by 3 women who are exploring women's experiences of public space, and this work almost takes the form of a mock radio 30 minutes, with ads, stories, news edits in there as well. And the third of 3 works down in the Docklands Victoria Harbour precinct is more of a street art kind of project. It is in Victoria Green on the hoarding of a new building being made by Lendlease. And when you're in the park, you'll see the street art screaming out at you, and it's an interesting interpretation of instructions. When you see it, you'll understand why. It basically is a challenge that you can't meet. It's called The Test.